Hi, my name is Josh. I'm going to be the nurse practitioner doing your assessment today. What brings you into the clinic?
A wellness check.
A wellness check. Awesome. Can you tell me your name
Marie Snyder,
and your date of birth?
9994,
And do you know what day it is?
July 11th.
And who's the president?
Donald Trump.
Alright, so this patient, she is alert and she is oriented times 4. She is well groomed. She presents well to the clinic today. I would have my medical assistant. She would have gotten vitals, height, weight, done her hearing test and her vision test. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to start with inspecting her face. We're looking at the skin. We're looking for any lesions, scars, any rashes, any redness, lumps, anything like that. I do not see any. We're going to take a peek at her scalp. Palpate at the same time, kind of spread the hair apart. Her hair is evenly dispersed. I do not see any infestations. I don't feel any bumps, lumps, bruises, see any bruises, anything like that. Is it painful when I touch anywhere up there?
No.
Wonderful. Now I'm going to come here. Can you open? Clench? Good. Side to side? Wonderful. Any pain with that? And that was cranial nerve 5. Next, I want to have you smile. Raise your eyebrows. Puff your cheeks out. So let me push. Alright, let me push. And that was cranial nerve 7. So cranial nerve 5 is intact and cranial nerve 7 is also intact. Next, we're going to look at her eyes. We're looking at her eyelids, her eyelashes. Her eyelashes are even. Her eyelids are intact. We're looking at the conjunctiva. I'm going to pull down a little bit. They are pink. They're moist. Her lacrimal ducts, they're not draining. Her bulbular ducts, they're not draining as well. Looking at her eyes, their sclera is white. I'm going to grab my light here a minute, okay? And just look straight at my nose. Look at the corneal light reflex, and it is slightly nasal in both eyes. Alright, now look right over my shoulder right here. And look at your face. Alright, her pupils are round, they're equal, they react to light. Alright, and then I'm going to have you follow my finger. And this is testing cranial nerves 3, 4, and 6. And she's able to follow them. I don't see any shaking or any nystagmus or things like that, so that those cranial nerves are intact. And then follow my finger in. And her pupils accommodate, so I could say Perla for that. I'm going to have you cover. And then uncover. Same thing with the other eye. And then uncover. Alright, and we are looking for any extraocular movements when one eye is covered and when one eye is not covered. Next, we are going to look at her ears. We are looking at the symmetricalness of her ears with the outer canthus of her eyes. They are in the same position. I'm going to take listen to your ears in a second. Any pain with palpation here? Right about right there. No. I'm going to take a look into your ears here a minute. You can tilt your head a little bit that way. Thank you. Alright, so we're looking at the tympanic membrane. It is pearly gray. It is intact. The conal light is at 5 o'clock. There is some cerumen noted in that ear canal. I didn't see any redness or inflammation. Alright, we'll go into this one here. Sorry if it hurt you. The tympanic membrane is pearly gray here. There is no bulging. Ear canal is not red and inflamed. The cone of light was at 7 o'clock. Next, we're looking at her nose. And we're looking at the symmetry of her nose. It is symmetric. Her septum is midline. Any pain touching it right here?
No.
Okay, I'm going to palpate your sinuses. Any pain with palpating your sinuses?
No.
Wonderful. When I go like this, you're going to take a breath in. Same thing. Her nose is patent. Have you had any changes to your smell?
No.
So cranial nerve 1 is intact. I'm going to take a look up, so tilt your head back, please. Alright, so I can see her turbinates. They are not red and inflamed. Everything is pink and moist. Same thing with this nose, nostril. Let's look here. It is pink. It is moist. I don't see any drainage. I'm going to go back and do a fundoscopic exam on her eyes here. So I'm going to have you look right over my shoulder. Alright, so I can see the red reflex. I can see her retina is, and her optic disc is intact. It is red. I don't see any bulging vessels or anything like that, and her optic was round on that side. Same thing here. You can see the red reflex. Optic disc is intact. The vessels are also intact. Their optic disc was round and orange. So next we're going to look at your mouth. Her lips are symmetric. They're symmetric with movement. They are pink. Can I have you open your mouth, please? Open as wide as you can. Tilt your head back a little for me. We're looking in here. Hard and soft palate is fused. Her gums are pink. They are moist. Patient does have all of her teeth. Looks like she has a permanent retainer right here. I don't notice any breath odors. Her gums were pink. Can you lift your tongue up for me? I don't see any lesions anywhere in her mouth. Stick your tongue out. You can say ah. Alright, so cranial nerves 9 and 10 are intact. And the patient is also able to articulate her words, which is cranial nerve 12. Excuse me. Alright, next we are going to look at your neck here. I'm going to palpate for your carotid arteries here. And 2+ on that side, 2+ on that side. I'm going to take a listen here, listen to see if I can hear any bruits at all with the bell. So you take a breath in, and then you're going to hold. Take a deep breath, hold. Good, let it out. Same thing. Alright, no bruit, it was auscultated. When I'm looking at her neck, it is also her trachea is midline. And then can I have you twist a little bit to the side here for me, please? Alright, I'm going to reach around, and I'm going to have you swallow. I'm going to try to palpate your thyroid. I can feel your cartilage here. You did swallow. I was unable to palpate your thyroid, which is a normal finding. And can I have you sit straight for me again? Next I'm going to palpate your lymph nodes. So you let me know if you have any pain when I palpate these. So preauricular, postauricular, posterior cervical, anterior cervical, submandibular, and submental. And then we have your clavicular. Any pain or tenderness with that?
No.
Wonderful. Next, I'm going to have you shrug your shoulders up. Good. Go against my hand here. Good. Next, other side. Good. So that's cranial nerve 11, and that one is intact. Next, we're looking at the shoulders. We're looking at symmetry. We would look for the assess the skin, but the patient does have a shirt on, so we aren't able to assess that right now. We'd be looking for any changes in coloration, scarring, any nevi, things like that. I'm going to come around back. Look at your scapula. Again, if we had a patient gown on, we'd be able to visualize this better. And from what I can see, they look symmetrical. Alright, I'm going to palpate your shoulders here. Let me know if there's any pain. This is the acromion, her shoulders, her elbows, her wrists, and the joints in her hand and finger. Let me know if there's any pain. Your capillary refill is also brisk. I'm going to check her pulses. And those are 2+ bilaterally. Give me a squeeze. Good. And she has good grip strength. It is strong. Now we're going to do a range of motion where you're going to raise your arms up and back and down. up to the side and up and cross and back down and cross in front. Okay, then reach behind you with one arm. Good. And then we're going to reach behind with the other arm. Good. So our shoulders have full range of motion. Now bend your elbows up and down. Good. She's got full range of motion with her elbows. Hands up, down. Okay. Fingers out, together, and squeeze. Good. So she got full range of motion in her shoulders, her elbows, and her hands and fingers. Now we're going to test for her reflexes or her triceps. Alright, that one is a 2. Just let me have it. Alright, and that one is also a 2. And that was the biceps. And that was the triceps, and that one is a 2. And that one is also a 2 for the biceps. Now we're going to do the brachioradialis. Let me just, you give me your thumbs and your arms here. I can see that one flexing there. And that one is also a +2. So all of her reflexes in her upper extremities are a 2. Next, I'm gonna have you twist a little bit if you don't mind. So we're gonna move to the back here. We're looking for symmetry. We're looking at her skin. If it was exposed, we would look for scars, lesions, moles, nevi, redness, rash, bruising, anything like that. Her AP ratio is 1:2, which is normal. I'm going to take a listen to you now. Every time you feel my stethoscope, you need to take a deep breath for me. Alright, so your lung sounds are clear, equal, bilaterally, and posteriorly and laterally. Now I'm going to percuss. And among percussion, the lung sounds are resonant throughout. I'm going to put my hand right here, take a deep breath in, and let it out. One more time. Alright, and we're looking for symmetrical expansion of the thorax among inspiration. Alright, so next we are going to move to the... Actually, I'm not done with the back yet. Keep to the side here. I'm going to listen with the bell. Every time you feel it, can you say 99 for me, please?
99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99.
Good, and that decreases as we move down to the lower lungs. All right, now you're going to feel my hands and then say 99 again.
99, 99, 99, 99.
Good, and those are both for tactile or for fremitus. They both decrease as we move down to the lower parts of the lungs. All right, I'm going to have you face forward. We'll look at the interior. If she did not, if she did not have a shirt on, we would look at the skin only exposed, what we need to assess. I'm going to take a listen to you right now. We'll listen to your heart sounds. Alright, and then can everybody take a deep breath? Alright, so her lung sounds are also clear bilaterally anteriorly. When I listen to her heart sounds, I could hear S1, S2, no murmurs or auscultated. I would assess for the PMI, but it is not visible as the patient is clothed. I'm going to palpate underneath the left breast here, try to find the apical impulse, mid-fifth intercostal space, just lateral the midclavicular line. And that is about 1 plus, maybe right there, barely palpable. Now can I have you lay down for me, please? Thank you. And I'm going to listen to your heart sounds again. I'm going to listen for any murmurs, anything like that. You can keep your arms down. Again, I'm listening for any whooshing noises. Alright, then have you roll a little bit into this left side. Alright, and I do not hear any extra adventitious heart sounds with movement or any murmurs like that. Next, we're going to go onto the abdomen. We're going to do inspection where our abdomen is flat. We also look at the skin, look for any scarring, redness, any bulging, indications of a hernia, things like that. Her abdomen is flat. Pull your shirt a little tighter here. And go ahead and start listening to your stomach here with a diaphragm. Listening for bowel sounds. And bowel sounds are active in all 4 quadrants. Now I'm going to listen to the aorta. Listening for any whooshing, bruise, things like that. Now we'll go to the iliac. Then the femoral. Alright, and I do not hear any bruise associated with the aorta, the iliac, or the femoral arteries. Next, we're going to percuss. Alright, and that sound is tympanic throughout. Now we're going to percuss the liver. So I find it dull right there. Now we're going to percuss down. And that's about 4 centimeters. Now we're going to percuss the spleen. Alright, now we'll go down. A little bit of dullness noted with the spleen. Next, you're going to feel me press lightly on your stomach, and then I'm going to go a little bit deeper. You let me know if there's any tenderness, okay? Alright, now we're going to go a little deeper. Alright, no pain or tenderness felt. I'm going to push kind of between the umbilicus and the iliac for that rebone tenderness. Let me know if there's any pain. Any pain with that? Now I'll look for McBurney's point for signs of appendicitis? Any pain right here?
No.
Good. So that exam finding is negative. I'm also going to palpate the liver. I'm going to get with the base of the costovertebral angled. Alright. Take a deep breath. Let it out. Good. No, I cannot palpate the liver there. Same thing with the spleen. And I'm unable to palpate that. Let's move to the kidneys. Alright, I can't feel that one. And I cannot feel that one as well. Any tenderness with any of those palpations? Alright. Now we're going to go to the hips. I'm going to push down. Any pain?
No.
What about pushing in?
No.
And then we're going to do some range of motion. Let me have your leg here. And then up. Good. Just out. Good. So just got full range of motion with the right leg. And full range of motion with the left. Now can I have you sit on the edge of the bed for me again? Alright, so we're going to inspect the knees, the skin, look for any scarring, any lesions, any masses. I do not see any. We're going to go down the legs to our ankles and our feet. I do not see any obvious signs of scarring, redness, swelling, anything like that. Let me know if there's pain. We'll palpate the ankles. Any pain? Okay, and toes. Cap refill is brisk. Alright, pull your legs out towards me. I'm gonna, okay, full range of motion there. Full range of motion there. Lift your feet up, push them down. You twist them in, and then twist them out. Good. So she's got full range of motion of her knees, her ankles. Can you curl your toes for me? And her toes and her feet. Next, let's check for our reflexes here. Alright, the patellar is intact. It's about a 2. That one's a little excited. That must have been a good strike. That one is intact as well. That one to Achilles. That one is intact. And I can feel her press down a little bit with that one, and that one is also intact. Now we'll do this one, check for curling of the toes. Alright, sorry if you're ticklish. Alright, and that one is also intact. She does not curl or flail her toes out, which would be an abnormal finding. Alright, next what I would like you to do is run a heel down each shin and do the other side, and we're looking for a straight line for that neuromotor examination. And then we could do some other ones where I would have the patient close her eyes and I would do like a hot and cold sensation, like a test tube that's warm, one that's cold. If she said that she had any numbness, tingling in her feet or any her hands or extremities, that would be like an exteroceptive test that we could do. We can also do a sharp pinprick and a dull, like a paper clip, a point and a dull side of it. And we can go back and forth between the legs with her eyes closed again to see if she could distinguish between the two. Next, we could do some proprioceptive tests where I would have the patient, she would close her eyes and I could lift a finger up or down, and she would have to let me know like if I lifted it up or down, like just to see if she could see her position in space. We could do that with her hands, we could do it with her toes. And then that's usually what we can do for proprioception. And then we can do the corticosensory ones where we could have the patient with her eyes closed. We would drop something in her hand, like a key or a pen, and she would have to identify that object without telling us what it is. Then we could also write something on her number, or like write something on her hand with her eyes closed, and she would have to repeat back what we just wrote. That would test her sterognosis in her, I can't think of, her graphesthesia. And then we could also do a 2-point discrimination where we could get a paper clip with both points touching at the same time. So we could touch like her feet, touch one, like different spots, and she'd have to tell us if she felt 2 pokes or 1 poke. And if there's any indication of where she was not able to identify which one it was, we could do further testing to figure out if there's something going on with the spinal nerve somewhere. The next, I would like you to stand up for me, please. And then, this is called the Romberg test. I'm going to have you put your feet together, put your arms out, and close your eyes. And we're going to see if you watch her balance. A little bit of swaying is normal, as long as she's not falling over. Okay, so she does pass the Romberg test. Now, I would like you to walk to the door right here a minute, normally. Good, and then stop. And then walk on your toes back to me. So we're looking at her gait, seeing if she can walk on her toes. Now walk on your heels for me, please. Okay, stop. And now walk heel to toe back to me, please. So I'm looking at gait, mobility, a little wobbly. Alright, so she is able to do those tests, so she does pass the test. Next, we're going to look at her spine. So if you can turn for me. Put your hands down to your side straight. So we're looking at symmetry. She does stand straight up. We're going to see if she's got any pain down her spine. Any pain with touching these here?
No.
Wonderful. Then I can have you bend down like you're touching your toes. So we're looking at curvature. Obviously it'd be easier if we did not have a shirt on, so we could look at the individual vertebrae. But from right here it looks symmetrical. I don't see any concerns now. Can I have you stand up, please? Alright, so I am going to have you twist to the side but without moving your hips. To the left, thank you. And the right. Good. So she does have range of motion, 4 range of motion to the left and right and down. And then can you twist or tilt back for me, please? Good. And she does have full range of motion to the back. And I believe that concludes our head to toe assessment.